I've been working with a lot of buyers recently that are looking for more affordable housing in the Lancaster County area. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down the different types of home you can get for under $300,000 in Lancaster County. So I'm going to show you 5 different properties in different parts of the county to show you exactly what you can expect to get. Once I've gone through the home tours, I'm also going to break down the monthly payment and expected cash to close on these properties. I wanted to start us off in Lititz with this property, end of road townhouse with off-street parking for $300,000. The 3-bedroom, 1.5 bathroom property over 1,240 square feet, built in 1987. Lititz is a very popular area, about 15 to 20 minutes north of Lancaster City. The prices there do command quite a premium. It's a very popular destination, and it's getting very, very competitive in these lower price points. What's nice is when you're below that $300,000 mark, the property taxes don't tend to be too bad. They're only $24.50 for this particular property. Now, one thing that is worth mentioning is that this property was listed at $280,000 and did sell for $300,000. There is a lot of competition in this price point. I had a buyer recently, they were looking at a $250,000 house in Lancaster City. We wrote an offer that was about $15,000 over the asking price. There were actually 10 offers on that property, and we did end up losing out. Now, not every property is like that, but just be mindful if a property is in good condition and is priced well, you're probably going to have to go a little bit above what the listing price is. Property number 2 is in Leola. This one has a finished basement. This is also a 1.5 bathroom property with 3 bedrooms. The monthly payment on these homes is going to be relatively similar. Now, what you are going to want to watch out for are which ones have had the big systems renovated or replaced in the last few years. So there can be 2 homes, both are in that $275,000 price range. One is a newer roof, newer HVAC. Those are the ones that you're going to want to probably steer towards because it can be very expensive to fix those. This one doesn't look like it's been renovated as recently as the other one, but it is also $25,000 less, and you can do an awful lot of renovations with $25,000. What is nice though is that you have that bonus area in the basement, which gives you an extra 600 square feet. This one is actively on the market right now, and the property taxes are $2,700, so similar to the first one we just looked at. Moving into Lancaster City itself, so what's nice is you're going to be right in the heart of town, really close to Southern Market, Central Market, and also all of the great restaurants and the theaters. Now, I'm not sure who the photographer is, but they probably need to be fired. But this property is a newly renovated home on South Prince Street for $275,000. It's about 1,900 square feet. And typically what they do with the renovated ones, this was originally a 4-bedroom, 1 or 1.5 bathroom. And what they will typically do is turn one of the smaller bedrooms into a either large ensuite bathroom for you to enjoy and have this big primary suite area. So they've added a half bath downstairs. You've got some decent sized bedrooms, but then their kind of main feature item is off the primary bedroom. You've got this huge renovated bathroom with a big tub and separate shower. These homes do tend to command a little bit more of a premium. But as soon as you go to the south of King Street, the homes do become much more affordable. This type of property on the north side of town, anything kind of Orange Street and above, is probably going to be more in the $350,000 to $450,000 range. Maybe even as high as $500,000 if it had off-street parking. One thing to watch out for on these renovated homes in Lancaster is that the taxes can change. So on that particular property, the taxes are around $1,700. What is likely to happen is once the township sees that the property has sold and has been renovated, they're going to come in and increase those taxes. So I wouldn't be surprised if they jump from $1,700 up to something in the $3,000 to $4,000 range. Moving slightly further out of town, but still in Lancaster City, we are here on Meadow Creek Lane. This property is 3-bedroom, 1 bathroom, and has about 2,000 square feet. Now, 1,400 square feet is above ground, and then 600 square feet of that is in the basement, give or take. And as you can see, it's been nicely renovated, looked after. This is a little bit higher price point at $325,000, but I just wanted to kind of show you a detached home option rather than something that was a townhouse. Now, again, these can get pretty competitive, or if they are kind of in the lower price point, they may need some major renovations. So something to check out also when you're looking at these Cape Cods is how high are the ceilings? So when you're looking at your Zillow profile, check the height of the doors. Also, you've got a desk here, and then you can basically figure out, if you're a really tall person, maybe this particular property doesn't make sense. The perks are this one has a really good yard size, and actually it looks like that basement is a walkout as well. The property taxes are the highest that we've seen so far, but you'd expect so because it's also the most expensive property. And then finally, going 20 minutes west of Lancaster towards York, Pennsylvania, we have this property in Columbia. Similar style to the last one, it's a Cape Cod at a lower price point. It is a smaller property as well. The pros are you get much more yard space than you would in a typical townhouse. This one also looks to be in pretty good condition. So if you're looking for something that you can just get up and move into, this could be a great option at an affordable price. And there is also additional basement space to expand your living area as well. Taxes are right in that sweet spot of $2,500 to $3,500. And I would say actually for Columbia, these are relatively affordable taxes as well. Columbia can be a little bit more expensive. Let's take a moment to break down the monthly payment and what you could expect to pay on a property like this. We do $300,000 purchase price with 10% down with good credit. We're going to take the national average of interest rates of 6.5%, which is typically what we're seeing in most cases, unless you're buying down the rate. We're going to do the taxes of $280 a month, home insurance of $90, and mortgage insurance of $75. So when you're putting less than 20% down, you'll have to have something called mortgage insurance. All of that added together gives you a monthly payment of $2,152. This will vary depending on the exact taxes and insurance of the property, but should be a pretty good ballpark. Now, let's say you wanted to put a little less down. If you did 3% down, that is going to adjust your mortgage payment to $2,284 a month. That would be if you were doing a 3% conventional. And this basically would typically increase your mortgage insurance as well. So maybe you're near $2,300, but you would be able to keep a lot more money in your back pocket, about $21,000 in this case. So sometimes, me personally, when I bought my home, I wish I'd had a little bit more in reserves. 3% down, having $150 a month higher payment, but being able to keep that extra $20,000, $30,000 in my back pocket would have been a huge advantage. And then if you were going to do the 20% down, you wouldn't have to pay that mortgage insurance. You're also going to have a much lower loan balance. So your payment is going to be about $1,885, which actually is going to be probably cheaper or very comparable to renting in the area. And finally, let's take a moment to break down your cash to close. We're going to look at 3% down, 10% down, and 20% down conventional loans. I'm going to use Cardinal Road and Lititz as our case study. We've got $300,000 purchase price, 6.5% interest rate, putting the 20% down. Your estimated cash to close with closing costs is going to be about $70,000. It may be a little bit higher than this. I'd say budget somewhere between 70 and 75. It's going to depend on the time of year you're closing, the time of month that you're closing, and then also if you have to make up any additional transfer taxes or buyer agent commission. Your payment is also going to come in around that $1,800 mark. For the same terms of 10% down, you're looking at $41,000 cash to close, probably somewhere between $41,000 to $45,000 for the same reasons I just mentioned. You are going to have your mortgage insurance on this one as well, and the higher principal and interest payment. So all of that together makes a payment of around $21 a month, but you need $30,000 less to close. And then finally, we're going to go with the 3% conventional. So exactly the same that we went through previously, but your cash to close is going to be about $20,000 to $25,000, and your monthly payment is going to be just under $2,300. And although this price point can be very competitive, at least you know there are decent homes available to you in this price point. When you get down to the $200,000 range, it becomes incredibly difficult to find something good or that doesn't need a lot of work. And those that are in good condition, if I'm honest, they tend to get bid up because too many people are looking for them. Now, if you're wondering, actually, I want to stretch that budget a little bit more. What does it look like to buy a home that's $400,000 or less? Click this video. And if you want to learn a little bit more about how to write an offer and how competitive the Lancaster market is, then click this video here.